Ronan, but there's certain games that would say that he's wrong, right? England, New Zealand in the semi-final of the World Cup, England played 80 minutes with one person in the backfield. The problem is the teams fall into the trap of trying to attack. They should do what he said and use the space when it's there. I remember England coming to the Aviva, I think it was maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, where we were all fired up and England kicked the ball like 13 times in the first 15 minutes. Exactly what Ronan's talking about. If the space is there, take it. Teams fall into the trap of trying to play because there's pressure from their fans to play good rugby, that kind of thing. Ireland need to take the space today.
OK, kicking game, all important today. So the comforts of home for the Irish team, but obviously no fans to cheer them on. That's not to say the support isn't out there. We put out the call here on Virgin this week and you more than answered.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Come on, Ireland.
Keep your eyes.
Come on, Ireland.
Come
on, Ireland.
Let's lost in
Ireland. Come on, Ireland. Let's beat the French. Come on, Ireland. Shoulder. Come on, Ireland. Come on, Ireland. Go, Ireland. You don't beat the French. Go on, Ireland. I hope we France on Sunday. Come on, Ireland. Come on, Ireland. Woo!
Let's go, Ireland!
better days coming.
Come on, Ireland. Come on, Ireland.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
I'm going to ask you. Yes, I will ask you.
Here's what I think. I don't have a clue.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Tonight at 9 on Virgin Media 1.
Every one of us is still at risk from COVID-19. But every time we do the right thing, we're protecting ourselves and the people around us. So remember, we all need to take a step back. Let's make an extra effort to keep cleaning those hands and wear a face covering when you're shopping or on public transport. If you sneeze or cough, cover it or have a tissue handy. And download the COVID Tracker app to help reduce the spread of the virus, because COVID-19 is still a problem and we're all the answer.
No surface is too small or big for viruses and bacteria to hide. But Domestos has proven to kill them all, quickly breaking the chain of infection. Domestos Spray. Unstoppable.
From moving out of the spare room to a place with space to spare. From first flat to first family home. From farmhouse to deep house. From a place you both call home to your working from home home. A new home is one of life's biggest moments, and we all know life doesn't always go to plan. That's why, at Bank of Ireland, our personalised mortgages can change if your life changes. When you're ready to make a move, we're ready to make it with you. Bank of Ireland. Begin.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
I'm a 25-hour girl. Lasting Finish 25-hour foundation with Hydration Boost. A foundation that lasts as long as I do. From Rimmel London. Live the London look. Whatever your non-stop lasting finish, we've got it. Radiant, natural looking or matte. Find your lasting foundation from Rimmel London.
It doesn't get more intense than this moment.
The fans are part of us, no matter where they are.
Ronan O'Gara, drop it goal, Grand Slam at stake.
That's the power of positive energy.
He's got it!
Oh, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you, but it's like to. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
We all like getting more than we expected. That's why AXA Plus rewards you with heaps of perks and savings, like money off beauty products to hotel breaks.
So the outside just needs a lick of paint.
Expect more with AXA Plus.
Gina D'Acampo, Fred Cirex and I are on a brand new culinary adventure across Mexico and the US of A.
It looks like you.
Back on the road, together again.
Road trip across America. We'll end up in jail.
Gordon, Gino and Fred's American Road Trip continues Tuesday at 9 on Virgin Media 1.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
Don't forget, European football returns this week. We have every game live from the UEFA Champions League on Virgin Media Sport. Barcelona against PSG, Porto versus Juve live on Virgin Media 2. And on Thursday, you can watch every game from the Europa League. That's live on Virgin Media Sport. Manchester United and Arsenal, both in action on Virgin Media 2. Now, Sinead Kassan is pitchside at the Aviva Stadium. The weather a bit miserable, Sinead. Just how bad is it there?
Yes, Joe, weather conditions here at the Aviva Stadium not as bad as had been forecast. Alan Quillen and Shane Jennings are here with me. Alan, you were down pitchside. What is it like down there?
It's not too bad. It's after calming down a little bit. Not much wind. It's small bit swirling, but the rain is stopped, thankfully. It is going to be a slippy ball, though. The ground conditions are slippy, and that's not going to change in the next little while. But much better, thankfully.
Shane, Rhys Ruddock comes in at number 6. It's quite the story. He made his Ireland debut 11 years ago, and today is his first Six Nations start.
Yeah, it's great for Rhys, and obviously, based on circumstances last week, he gets his opportunity, and I think he's going to add huge value. I think his work rate, you'll see huge amount of rucks being hit by him, huge amount of tackles, very physical, very strong, and that's what we're going to need today against a very good, solid French back row. So, huge opportunity for him. He's got to take it now.
Ian Henderson takes over as captain of Ireland. What can we expect from him today?
Leadership. I think he's got to play well himself. He was fantastic when he came off the bench last week, albeit he was out for a long period as well. So there's a fair bit of pressure on him. Being captain, hopefully it'll inspire him to produce a good performance, I think. And it's up to him and the rest of the Irish pack to really deliver as a unit. And if they do that, they have a good chance today. But hopefully Henderson can really lead from the front.
Shane, who's got the better pack?
I don't know. It's pretty even, to be fair, when you look at it, man for man. You'd say, do you know what, we might have the edge there. And then you look at one of the French back rowers, you go, do you know what? They're pretty good as well. So off our bench, we've got some quality as well, just like they do. Inexperienced front row for them to come on as well. But I think it's going to be very, very tight. But I do feel we've got a performance in us. Nobody's given us a chance, so it's a nice place to come from.
Will we see more of that Paul O'Connell imprint today, Alan?
Well, I hope so. I think the lineup was pretty good last week. It was probably the effectiveness of it. They did lose 2, but the quality was much better. And to launch some attack and try and get the ball to Billy Burns and Gibson Park, and hopefully Henshaw, he's going to be vital today. He was superb last week. And Ringrose, if they get a bit of ball, they can ask some questions of that French defence. And physicality is going to be an issue. France are very, very big and powerful, but the idea for Ireland today is to try and build some tempo and pressure and cut out the errors and the mistakes that we saw in the second half last week.
So it's a must-win game. Can they do it?
Yes, they can. Of course they can. It's going to be extremely difficult. I think we're all aware of that, but of course they can. I think let's get behind them.
Alan?
Well, on paper, I think it looks very, very daunting and difficult. But I was just saying to Shane there before we came on, the player in us would love to be in this challenge. And these are why you play the game, and it's a real opportunity for these guys. They've got to deliver, and if they bring in intensity and a real attitude today, they have a good chance. But it's going to be difficult.
Absolutely, it is. Well, kick-off here is at 3 o'clock.
OK, thank you, Sinead. Back to you across the afternoon. Another point of positivity. This is getting far too positive, by the way, this chat for my liking. We need to dial this down a little bit. So
I've still got some things to come, don't
I? OK, good. I'm relieved. So you want to show people here moments where Ireland did some really good stuff against Wales and we're really close to opening them up.
Yeah, and this is where we were talking about the progress we felt Ireland was making. And it's in attack here where they're getting some shape, where they're going wide. And there's some opportunities. Now, they miss the opportunities. They don't take them. But there's sort of space that we haven't seen being created for a while. Now, if we just watch here, look at the numbers Ireland have here. There's one more further out. And there's what we can tell, there's no fullback there. So one more pass, and we don't get out. Keenan gets shut down. But you can see what they're trying to do. And they are generally achieving the shape that can attack the space. Now, watch again here. There is some good space attack. Keith Earl carries. Now, look at the short side. This is another feature of the play where they are using the short side, and I don't think teams use the short side enough. I love it. Love where they go. Now they're right on the edge. They take that ball forward, so it creates a 15-metre short side and open side. Here they go, and again, look at the numbers and look at the Welsh. There's not a lot of defenders there, but again, we just can't get it into the space. There's one more. When it comes up now, Wales have adjusted, and it's man for man, and the Welsh make the tackle. One more here, last one just to show the point of good carry. It splits the Welsh defence. They've got to do both sides, and now they've got numbers. Look at that, 4-on-2. If we can get that link, some very good defence, shut it down, and the opportunity's missed. Now, the opportunity has been created. They can do this, so that's a positive sign. My question, and I'm going to throw this one back to the man who knows on my inside, would Sean Edwards, the great Welsh defensive coach, has he gone to school on that, do you think, Owen?
Yeah, and I think, some of those clips, almost, if you're a defensive coach, you're delighted with them.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're putting your defenders in a position where they can actually make that tackle. So I think, the biggest thing about Ireland today is that, this system that France have is a good system, but their players will get tired and they will make mistakes. And that's where I think we have a backline today that can actually expose any mistakes. If you talk about one of Billy Burns' strengths, we saw a little bit of it against Wales last week. A gap opened up, he took it. And I think that's what you're looking for today. France won't be perfect for the whole game. When they're not, can Billy Burns use what he's really good at, go through that gap and open up a hole like Ntamack might have done in the past against Ireland?
Or to use Ronan's example, do a short kicking game into that space as well. That we saw yesterday in the Scotland-Wales game, there were so many positive short kicks that resulted in tries in that game.
Ronan, massive day for Andy Farrell, needless to say. No Irish team has lost their opening 2 matches in the Six Nations. Nobody wants to make history like that. So we have Farrell, we have Mike Catt there, now O'Connell's come in. O'Connell, as we know, a disciple of Schmidt and the breakdown work and attention to detail, and we have Catt and Farrell talking about, heads-up rugby. Do you like that balance, that mix, or can the message get a bit muddled? What's your sense of where this coaching ticket's at?
No, I think potentially at the start there may be a little breakdown in communications, but once you spend time with Paul, the message is very, very clear. He loves preparation. He puts massive value and emphasis on preparation, and one of his big things is let's be the best at the things that require very little talent. So I think it would be a big mistake also too to just consider Paul as probably a forwards coach, because he's really interested in all elements of the game. So he believes in a certain way rugby should be played, and the French would probably disagree with that. The French are all about keeping the ball alive. Paul would be a big believer in the ball carrier, clean outs and ball presentation. So it makes it very interesting, that alone. But with his own colleagues and fellow coaches, Paul would be a big advocate of doing the simple things really, really well. I think what's happening with Catt and Farrell now is the fact that they're giving players license to play what they see. That's very well and good, but at test level, when you come up against guys that are as good as you need to kind of all be on the same wavelength. And that's something that may bear its head today. Hopefully, from Ireland's point of view, it may not, because where Ireland, I think the game will be decided. If Ireland are incredibly accurate like they were in 2018 in the Aviva, they don't need to be that good tonight when they ripped New Zealand apart. But Paul would be huge on accuracy and preparation and giving his team the best chance because of what they've done in the paddock to bring it out on game day, as opposed to playing what you see or heads-up rugby. That leaves an awful lot of area for on-the-spot decision-making.
Okay.
I just think...
Okay, for that today. Sorry, we're out of time. We'll come back to that point, I assure you, in just a moment. Tadhg Beirne, we want to go to, because he has really done it the hard way. He had no contract in Ireland. He was on the verge of leaving rugby behind, really. And then there was a lifeline from Scarlets over in Wales, which he took full advantage of. Now at Munster, last Sunday felt like a coming-of-age performance in the Irish jersey.
Around this time of the year, I've been kind of hit with injuries the past few years, just before the Six Nations starts. So I have had a lot of missed opportunities to kind of put my mark down, and this is the first time in a few years that I've been fit coming into a Six Nations. So for me, getting that opportunity on the weekend was huge, and hopefully I'll be able to back it up and start trying to cement a place in this team. Each week I have to, I'm told I need to know that role at six, so I always do know what needs to be done there. Obviously, from a line-out point of view, the sixth role is different to the second row role, and then any of our set pieces, and there's different roles there. So I think there's a bit more detail there at times, covering the sixth role as well. But I'm more than happy to slot in there. We had set out a goal to win a Grand Slam, and obviously that's out of our hands now, and we went into that game against Wales feeling like we had to win it. Look, sometimes things don't work out as you plan, but we're certainly not out of this competition, and again we're going into this game with a must-win mentality, and the French are an incredibly strong side and probably one of the favourites to win the competition this time. And last there back in November, when they beat us, taking the Six Nations away from us, we'll definitely be looking to get one back on them for sure.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
European football is back on Virgin Media Television.
What about that?
The last 16 in the Champions League.
Unbelievable! Brilliant finish!
And the last 32 in the Europa League.
Bruno Fernandes! You couldn't write it.
All the top teams featuring as Virgin Media Sport brings you every game live.
Goal scoring machine.
Do not miss a kick as the best in the business go head-to-head.
Oh, that is superb!
It's knockout football.
Oh, that's a huge moment! Beauty of a finish.
European football returns Tuesday, 16th of February. Every game live across Virgin Media Sport.
The battle for the Premier League is wide open. Don't miss any of the action with the Now TV, Sky Sports and Sports Extra Pass. Now half price for 3 months.
They might get caught out here. Mane's header is perfectly placed.
Delivery was beautiful and the finish was deadly.
Only pay for the games you want with a day or month pass. It's your sport on your terms with Now TV.
Kane to Son, goal.
One order of frothy milk, rich espresso, and extra Thanks, love.
Try the new Kenco Duo.
I can look at 12 horses in the forms all at once.
Come on.
The app is my paddock.
Once the race starts, we don't bother with cheers in our house.
When the race is on, I try to remain calm.
If it's possible to love a four-legged beast and a wee tiny man sitting on top of it, then I love you!
However you like to play, we've got your bet. Ladbrokes, where the nation plays.
Bird's Eye, made from 100% chicken breast. Winner, winner, chicken dippers for dinner.
From behind the gates of the Guinness Brewery, our brewers dreamt up something extraordinary. Hop House 13, a great tasting lager, brewed with Irish barley for a full flavour and a crisp, refreshing taste. Hop House 13, more taste, more character.
At AIB, we've always backed your belief with a fair mortgage, which is why we've lowered our fixed rates even further and still offer some of the most competitive variable rates on the market. These new rates are available to you as a new or existing customer looking to move, buy your first home, or switch to AIB. Talk to our mortgage team today about our new lower fixed rates or visit AIB.ie. AIB. We back belief.
Today, we're better connected than ever before. On Ireland's best performing mobile network, everyone can follow their curiosity with unlimited data and no data caps on Vodafone Bill Pay.
There's a way, everybody say, to do each and every little thing. You don't know what it's like to love somebody the way I love you.
At Electric Ireland, we're here to support over 1 million homes and businesses because we're brighter together.
What is Ireland's best-selling car for the last 2 years? The Toyota Corolla self-charging hybrid electric. Choose the iconic Corolla hatchback, the spacious family saloon, or the stunning Corolla Touring Sports, with incredible offers available. A 2% VAT reduction and lower tax than diesel. There's never been a better time to drive a Toyota Corolla hybrid. Contact your dealer and start your electric journey today. Toyota, built for a better world.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
This Guinness Six Nations weekend, Virgin Media Television has teamed up with Curry's PC World to give you a chance to win a massive €5,000 voucher for their store. Curry's PC World is home to a massive range of crystal clear 4K large screen TVs that immerse you in the action. Featuring top brands such as Samsung, LG and Sony. You will be spoiled for choice with TVs and soundbars to suit all budgets and homes. Visit www.currys.ie to see all they have to offer. Kit out your sitting room and bring the stadium atmosphere to your home this Guinness Six Nations weekend with thanks to Curry's PC World. To be in with a chance of winning this amazing prize, simply answer this question. Who scored Ireland's first try against Wales last weekend? A. Tadhg Beirne or B. Conor Murray? Just call 1515 999 333 or text WIN to 57199 to enter. Good luck.
Big afternoon for this fella, needless to say. The last time we had no Johnny Sexton or Conor Murray in an Irish 15, 10 years ago, 2011. He had a disappointing finish to the game, certainly in Cardiff, and he's looking to put that right today. Also, a big afternoon for Jamison Gibson Park. This is the starting 9 and 10 for Ireland this afternoon. They will decide much on this huge day for Andy Farrell and team. And Owen Redden here in studio on our number 9. You can cast an expert eye over him. You rate this guy. You think he's a good player and you're hoping he does well today?
Yeah, I think he's a very good player. His basics are very, very good. He's got good vision. You see here, Johnny probably calls this, but he's able to execute. Again, important today against line speed. They're the kind of kicks that Ronan and Matt were talking about. Here you see him, you know, this is also a break away from the pattern. Instead of something else called, he spots a gap and finishes it off. That's key, right, in the modern game now to be able to take advantage of mistakes they're making. This, you know, his exits, he's a good box kicker. He actually can box kick off both feet. You know, so he has all the basic skills. You know, you see him here being able to take steps, but still, you know, knowing when to release the ball. You know, he's in and away here, quick, able to put tempo in the game. You know, you can't really argue with any of his basics. The big challenge for him really is, you know, he hasn't started as many games as he would have liked as a player, and that does present a different dynamic. He did really well last week when he came on. You know, he was patient, even though he didn't have that much time on the pitch. He was patient with his play. He was accurate. And I think, you know, he's definitely at a stage, at a place where let's see how he goes. Okay. You know, he's definitely got skills that could be a huge benefit to Ireland if he settles into that starting role where he's calm and can deliver for a good portion of the game. OK,
he'll have to do well today. Now, Matt, I want to talk to you about James Lowe. James Lowe, you know, many brilliant qualities. He's got that great left boot on him. He made the most metres of any player in the competition last weekend, but defensively you have big concerns.
Yeah, he just made some really bad reads. Just look here, the inside players aren't moving up, and he loses all connection with the rest of his defensive line, and it just creates a hole that the Welsh team exploited. Now, it wasn't a try-scoring opportunity for Wales, but it does come again here. We just watch, he's just out of pitch, he'll come up there. Now, once you show your number, the number on your back to the ball carrier, he's going to burn you. Now, he wasn't helped by Henderson on his inside, but he had to make a decision there. And again, you just see him turning. Now, we just have a rule, once you see the number, run at it. You can see the number on a guy's back because he's gone. Again, the last one, which again was a very bad, to me, this is the worst one on the try line. It's just man for man. There's numbers. There's 3 defenders, 3 attackers, and James just gets caught up and they go 2-on-1 and it creates an overlap that should have never been there. Now, Ronan talks about, has spoken about Test match rugby. Test match rugby exposes your fundamentals.
Yeah.
And they are fundamentals. Now, again, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone can improve. He has to get that better today. He has to get that better today.
Ronan, that's a big worry against this French team.
Well, it's a big worry considering his background, Joe. For me, what happens in New Zealand is they mark up on bodies, OK? So they defend pictures, while in the Northern Hemisphere, we defend the ball, OK? So it's coached very, very differently. You look at both examples that we've shown there. In the first example, you've got to kill the threat. The threat is north. The pass back to Halfpenny, he's 7 metres deep. The cover will easily get to him. The second one, for me, it's probably 6 defenders, 5 attackers. There's 0. North is static taking the ball. He's not a carry threat. So that is very worrying because I don't think in his club career he gets these opportunities because Leinster are so superior than the teams are playing in Pro 14. There hasn't been Heineken Cup rugby this year, and well, with the exception of 2 games, and now he's in a test match, and it's very, very hard to learn at test level.
OK, well, we'll have to watch that. He's going to have to learn very, very quickly. Antoine Dupont, no better man than to cause havoc and expose a James Lowe. This guy has been talked about as certainly the best 9 in the world, if not the best player in the world.
Yeah, almost a privilege to talk about him. I literally can't get over how well he's been playing for a large period now. You know, his skills are excellent. The basics, you know, core basic kicking and passing. Here you see his support line. You know, his fitness and acceleration here, you know, and he does this over and over again, finishes off these tries, is something to behold. He's very calm, he's got a good temperament. You know, he's just really, really got it all. You know, here we go again, acceleration, you know, 43 minutes gone, you know, and a brilliant pass to finish it off. You know what I mean? And again, you know, it's probably a set play, good execution with his left foot. I mean, the thing that really, for young 9s out there, what really gets me about Dupont is, you know, with all his physical attributes, for example, his defence here, big hit, he's got great gas, he breaks hard, scores tries, great defender. He still has never neglected his basics. He's grown up, he's practiced his passing, he's practiced his kicking, and he's delivered them to the highest level. You know, there's, you know, but players like, you know, maybe myself and Ronan at times, you know, I had to focus massively on my passing because I couldn't do a lot of the things that Antoine Dupont does, but he really hasn't neglected a single aspect of the game, and hats off to him. He's in great form. Hopefully not too good today.
OK, yeah, a joy to watch. Hopefully maybe not so much today is the feeling on the brilliant Antoine Dupont. So 2011 is the last time the French won in Dublin, but this is a very different France we are talking about today. For Irish hopes in this championship, it is all very straightforward. They have to win this game. Kick-off on the way next.
Vodafone, the main sponsor of the Irish rugby team.
Welcome to the greatest show on ice.
There's a serious competition here.
Sometimes all you need is a good fall.
Awful. Wipe out.
To find out where you stand.
There's definitely been times where I actually don't know if I can do this.
Dancing on Ice, tonight at 6 on Virgin Media 1.
Fillet of fish from a dish. Big Mac down a cul-de-sac. And even under a drying rack. Cheese sides for gaming vibes. Nugs on rugs. Or a share box to the river. Because yes, we deliver.
Are you all right there?
Just admiring the view. Push.
He's a trier, isn't he?
Stop!
Just trying to help.
Sure, he's probably harmless enough.
Let's stop excusing sexual harassment and sexual violence. Enough is enough.
Meet Niamh. For years she's been resisting the switch, until today. She finally switched her family to Leia Healthcare. Switching's quick, simple, and now she can't stop switching everything up. As well as great cover, when Niamh pays for one child, the rest of her kids go free. And she also gets unlimited access to GP video consultations. So, what will Niamh switch next? Satisfy your switch. Switch to Leia Healthcare, looking after you always.
Did you put on the indicator?
For as long as Irish mammies have known what's best, since the day you flew through your own driving test.
Buy your car insurance online with Aviva and get 10% off, plus breakdown assistance as standard.